We finally arrived at our High Holy season. New episodes begin September 15th and roll through October. We seem to have shifted to a chaotic seasonal model for the show, and I intend to release 6 or so installments this chaotic season. In addition to a couple traditional neighbor interviews, I'm happy to finally tell Biddy's story, a case that spooked her and me so badly, it's taken time to wrap our heads around it. Enough to share it, and it'll take several installments to tell, which should be fun/scary. Now, one day in late August, after a particularly stressful move and weeks of summer momming, I had a random idea. The intros and outros to Get Me episodes, while necessary at the time of release, feel bulky and clunky years later. So what if I took them out? Cleaned up the audio a bit, and re-released the clean versions to Patreon so listeners could pop right into the stories without all the fluff. To clarify, the originals will remain in all their brilliant messiness on the podcast feed wherever you listen, while these fluff-free versions will live on Patreon. Sounds great, right? And it started out great. Predictably, it swiftly went off the rails. I had the first 4 episodes cleaned up and uploaded onto Patreon when I realized I couldn't find the original file for number 5. But then 6 wasn't there either, or 7. All told, the files for episodes 5 through 34 have disappeared into the ether. We both know damn well that user error most likely came into play in the random deletion, but indulge me for a moment as I scream into the abyss. In my defense, the computer's 8 years old, and it's been carted to 4 different houses in that time. The thing's considered vintage at this point, but a new computer is on the way, and let's just hope that this one lasts until September 11th. Now, as for my little fluff-free Patreon episode idea, I just plowed ahead and uploaded clean versions of the audio files that I do still have. Half-assed but done is a founding pillar of this podcast, and I remain true to form. So, if you're interested, you can find just the stories and none of the fluff for episodes 1 through 4 and 35 through 72. Yes, I'm aware of how ridiculous that is. Over on Patreon, if you join for $5 per month or any higher tier. I'll upload all future episodes going forward too, before they disappear too. And I pulled out those short Patreon supporter stories, at least the ones that still exist, that appeared at the end of several episodes, and created a little separate posting for them because those are some of my favorite stories that I've shared here. And the last thing about Patreon, I also want to note that I only charge subscribers on the months that I actually put out episodes. I pause charges when I'm on hiatus. So check it out, and then meet me back here Friday, September 15th for more Wellesley strangeness. As always, you can find the most up-to-date information about the show on Instagram or ghostintheburbs.com. And while you wait for Friday the 15th, read From Below by Darcy Coates. Finding myself in that story is the closest thing that I can find to describe what my very worst nightmare is. Talk to you soon.